All right, everyone, this is MDB Modified Darvas Box. MDB coming at you here on Friday the 13th at 5:24 p.m. Market's closed. I'm doing this video because I'm heading out to Cleveland tomorrow to see the 49ers stomp all over the Cleveland Browns. It's going to be awesome. Uh, but yeah, I'm away this weekend. So wanted to get through some charts here for a weekend review. I think the market sucks, and probably you do too. I don't know. There's just not that many money making opportunities, in my opinion. But there's a few out there. But world events, being what they are, has things jerking all over the place, and I'm sure the powers that be are trying to figure out where they can make the most money. So let's get into the charts, and then I've got a bonus feature after we're done at the end. So stay tuned throughout this video here. So for anybody who hasn't watched me, basically I'm looking for this right side of the chart, looking to see for any signals, any setups. Signals are usually different colors, different color bars on my charts, but I'm also looking for box setups and things like that. I've got 6 different lists that I move stocks all around those lists all the time. So as I move them around, it's when they meet different conditions. So it's an idea. Maybe you like that idea and want to try it for yourself. All right, let's get into it. So as always, I start with the AMZ. This is the MLP Energy Index, and you can see right here, it had a box breakout. Inside week moved upwards. Inside week moved downwards. Now, there's no volume here. It's just the tracking type index. But this was pretty chaotic on the Middle East news. But now, as rational heads see what world governments are reacting to it, now we can see, hey, no, it's actually bullish for energy. So it just goes to show, try not to panic when something happens, especially now in the age of governments getting involved up to their necks and probably making a mess of things. But man, they sure like to spend money, don't they? All right, that's enough of that. Let's take a look. Oh, Kathy Wood, losing money again. God, those shareholders are gonna suffer till they scream. But that's a box breakdown. Heading down. This is funny, what tends to be in the right, what tends to be in the lower right tends to keep going in the lower right. And same if it's in the upper right. What's in the upper right tends to keep going to the upper right. All right, BZJ, this is the approximation for oil. And as you can see right here, yep, inside week and then the crisis hit. But now the market sees this as a real rebound. NASDAQ, sideways box. It held up right here. Did not break the Darvas box. Held up at my weekly moving average that I use. I use a different weekly moving average than many other popular speakers do. It started moving up, but no, maybe not. Maybe it's selling down. So we'll keep an eye on that. But right now, that's just sideways action. Ethereum sideways with the inside bar. We'll see if this price goes up or if price goes down. That's what an inside week is. It's a period of indecision, and then the way you trade them is whichever way they resolve, you join that direction. And you don't have to buy it during when it's forming an inside week. You buy it afterwards. See signal, and then buy the reaction. The reaction was always more important than the signal itself. What do we got here? MFTY, nothing going on. We'll see. Happens. China, nothing going on there. Bitcoin had a Darvas box breakout on big volume. That's how I classify it. This is I was tweeting that this looks really strong. And what happened? It sold off, and it looks sort of indecision, and probably it'll resolve either up or down, and that'll probably determine its fate for a while. So bulls better hope. Gold, look at this. Big box breakdown. Then it sort of made a signal here. If you really like gold, you could have bought this signal. And look at that reaction after that. Signal and reaction. And look at it, it's right back inside the box. So that's a shake and bake. Shake and bake. Somebody lost money and got screwed. But wasn't me, but we're making a note of that. High yield bonds. Pointed downwards a little, but still within its Darvas box framework. So technically it's going sideways. Sideways. Down. Down. This is the microcap index. Microcaps had a box breakdown here on big volume, and after some volatility, it closed here at its lows. That's not good. IWM getting weaker. That doesn't look so good. Healthcare down. Transportation's nothing. So I don't see anything. RSP is down. But see, there's no real signals. There's nothing to guide the decisions for, gee, should I transact or not? Should we buy this or should we sell it? Honestly, if you don't see anything, don't do anything. Sort of a signal on this one. It's sort of a shooter bar. Basically, when you see a signal, you then got to figure out, well, how am I going to play this signal? The one to do that would be, if it breaks this line downwards, short it. But who knows? Maybe it continues going up, and this will never trigger. But that's an example of a signal, and then you wait and see what's the reaction to the signal. So S&P, look at that, nothing doing, but it didn't break down like continue crashing or anything, but there's just not enough there to really provoke me into being like, oh, that's a buy. Gotta buy it. No, man, I don't see it. T2106, sentiment. Well, sentiment hit a high and then came right back down. Kind of a mess. This sentiment, not great, but not horrible. This sentiment here showed the bounce. Percentage of stocks above the 40-day moving average. Well, look, it hit the zone where buys have occurred. This down here is COVID. So, yep, a buy opportunity occurred. Is it the best buy opportunity that's ever occurred in the market? No, not really. But that's enough for a tradable bounce. The Tange, solar, I'm still short for solar, but it's made an inside week. So now I gotta be careful. And if it breaks upwards like that, well, then that's probably a buy. And that short trade is probably over. Or if it continues going down, well, then maybe you want to jump on that short and short some more. I personally think it's going down because what's down and to the right tends to keep going down and to the right. But we'll see what happens. Nothing going on here. Bonds maybe, look at the volume here, huge volumes. So bonds may be making a bottom of sorts because of the big volume here. Big green volume. Big investors are buying bonds. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. Uranium. There's that signal right here. The trigger level. It triggered short right here, either short or sell and get out. And now it still doesn't quite know what to do, and it's formed an inside week. And if you were just listening as to how to handle inside week, keep an eye on these. Set alerts for both sides. That'll tell you which way to go. If you love the fundamentals of uranium, well, then you want it to break higher. Me, I'm sort of agnostic. I don't really care. Oh, this one here, it had a box breakdown last week, so I prematurely colored it red box. I need to change it back to yellow because it rebounded and went back into the box. Housing, nothing there. What's that? XLE energy. Inside week, you know what to do. Draw the upper and lower alerts and then see what happens next week. XLF. Here's a hammer signal right here. There's the trigger. Hammer signal triggered upwards, but then didn't have enough juice to stay above it because it's weak. It's not a strong area. All right, let's whip through this. I try to keep this to 30 minutes. Let's keep going. So this is list 2. These are stocks which I think have broken out in a textbook fashion with big volume, etc. This first one, AMR, broke out here. Darvas box breakout on big volume, and it's had a lovely run. I sold this yesterday on Thursday because I bought it here. It kept moving upwards. Inside week, it violated the low of the inside week, so prompting a sell. And because I don't love this stock, I'm not in love with it where I want to hold it and use the moving average as a guide, the weekly moving average. So I may as well just pop out and take the money. On the daily, you can see this pretty clearly. I was a buyer, where was I? Like right in here. Rode it all the way up. And then you had this nasty, nasty gap down. And, you know, when you see it indicated a big gap in the morning, just sell it. You usually get a better price at the market open than any other point during the day. Usually. Just sell it and be done with it. I mean, that's how easy trade is. When the chart is clear, that's just, it's so easy. And so many people don't seem to understand that. It's just mind-boggling. Oh, so this, even though I'm out of this still is pretty good. It's probably going to form a sideways box, something like this. But it hasn't formed it yet, but that's what it looks likely. So anybody long-term holding it, yeah, you'll hold it for the sideways box and then hope it does go sideways. At the moment, you don't know if it's going to stay up, if it's going to go sideways, go back up, or, God help, keep going, get it down. I am long BTU. You had a bunch of signals here with an inside week. I did not bother to wait for the trigger because I also knew that it had a previous trigger here. And when I saw it close here halfway, I'm like, yeah, it's time to buy some and see what happens. So I bought some, and so far so good, it's up. And we'll see if it continues going up. Here's one, Geo. This has been pretty popular with the immigration crisis that's going on. Darvas box breakout. It's been moving up. It's not easy. Look at this weird signal and sort of a shooter bar. You got to be careful of that. Put an alert underneath it like that and see what happens. Doesn't look bad, but it's sort of a little weird. This one, inside week. Nice rebound, inside week. This one here, Darvas box breakout last week. Moved up, but look at that. It got pushed. The sellers pushed it back down to 168, to the edge of the Bollinger Band. It's still bullish, though. This one's a potential buy. Might be worth buying next week. I'm going to seriously think about this one over the weekend. All right, let's move on to list 3. List 3 is bullish stocks that are bullish, in my opinion, but don't meet all the criteria. In this case, ANET is relatively bullish, had the big box breakout down here, It's moved up and formed a sideways box, a new one. Now, this really probably, it's not really active, so it really shouldn't be in this list. I'm going to move it to list 6. Because it's simply going sideways. APP, sideways, shouldn't be in this list. This list is for active ones. This one's sideways. Got a signal right here, but hasn't really gone anywhere. And this is kind of an ugly shooter style bar. Shooter bars are negative. So we're going to move this out of this list. And the market's not bullish, and I'm moving stocks out of the bullish list. That makes sense. CCJ, uranium. Signal bar right here. That's a negative shooter bar. Yep, it triggered in this big mess down here. And now it's formed an inside weak. So now just put this here like this. And put that like that and see what happens. It's going to form another Darvas box. It needs another week or so above this low. And then it will have a brand new Darvas box, which will look something like this. And then you can judge it accordingly. But at the moment, this one shouldn't really be in this list either. Dell. In the process of forming a sideways Darvas box. Not done yet, so I'll leave it alone. No signals though. This one, ESTC, had that weird hammer bar during an upward trend and just couldn't, I don't know, it's just weird. This one needs more development, but it's not awful. This one here, IonQ, terrible looking shooter bar, inverse hammer. Let's move this one to watching. Oh, this one's not good. Box breakdown, box failure. Not an awful one. Like there's no big volume right here. But the sellers finally showed up this week. I bought it back here on this green volume. But it just never really took off. And I sold out here on the red. I made a little bit of money, but I kind of wasted 3 months on this one. But the key aspect is don't lose money. Don't lose money. Don't lose money. And I did not lose money, even though I was in this for a while. Don't lose money. And I did walk away with a profit, not a big one, but did walk away with one. Meanwhile, this should not be on this list. Let's move it to number 5. Net. Yellow bar buy signal. A weird hammer right after it as sellers wanted to sell out. And now an ugly looking shooter bar. You see how the stuff just, if it's difficult to read, it means this is going to be just a difficult stock. Why even bother with it? Don't waste your frickin' time. Let's put this one back into number 5. It's just not ready. PLTR, I am long this one. And so far so good, knock on wood. Bought it last week. And look at that, a nice green bar. Price moved up. There's no reason to sell this. You might want to sell. I will think about putting in a hard stop. Or I have alerts in. But right now, this makes me wonder if I should have a hard stop somewhere in there. Nah, maybe. I got a lot of alerts. We'll leave the alerts alone. But this one has potential. It did do a little bit of a breakout, but it couldn't hold it. But it's got potential for next week. We'll see what happens. Tesla sideways, nothing there. Ooh, Uber. Pink bar. So a pink bar here says, pay attention. Something could happen. Now price could either go down like that, up like that, or continue sideways. But it says, pay attention. The market is making a decision. And we'll see what happens. So a great example is this broke out here. It went up, up, up until finally we got to this pink bar here, and they made a decision that that's as far as they're going to take it. And that was been time to leave. But if you believe in it or you want to use the moving average as your guardrail, then just stick with it. Go with the flow. It's been going sideways, so maybe it continues going sideways. I don't know. But it's got potential. I forgot. Tesla should not be in this list. That should be in list 6. Even Uber should be in list 6 because they don't have anything really actively bullish. This one should be in list 6 also. Is the market super bullish with signals? No. So therefore my list should not be very full either. List 4, let's keep going. I always keep an eye on Airbnb, but look how awful this looks. Threatening to break its Darvas box. We'll see what happens. This one here, white bar signal. There's a battle going on at the lower edge of its Darvas box. Battle between bulls and bears. And is this a reason for you to get involved? Only if you love the company. If you love it and think it's just going to be wonderful, then this is a great buy zone. Me, I don't know. I don't have any opinion, so I'm going to stay out of it. SLH, look at this. Pink bar signal last week, and now an inside week this one. You know what to do. And we'll see what happens. This sell up here, which I did this week, is looking more and more like a great sell. It would have been even better if I had put a tighter stop on it like there, but I didn't, so it is what it is. Nothing there. Isn't this amazing? ELF went from being a darling, now it can't find any buyers. Big ass white bar sell signal with a big red volume. This just shows you who's in control right now. Bulls are not in control. Bears are. Inside weak, resolved to the downside on above average volume. Another inside weak, but volume's light. And the bulls at the moment have given up on ELF. Workday, big giant Darvas box. There's a bearish signal. There's nothing going on there. All right, let's go to list 5. Oh, see if anything's going on here. Yeah, you know what? Apple is good enough. Well, it's time to draw a new box on it. Oh, we'll do it like this. Yeah, that looks about right. I shorted it back here. It didn't really do a lot. I covered in here. Then a big pink bar signal. 2 inside weeks. Resolved to the downside. And then what happens when it resolves to the downside? Whoop! The buyers show up. Like, where were they? Where were they before? It's just so frustrating. So on that, possibly sideways. Nothing there. This is, by the way, this is list 5. Everything in this list should be bearish, should be broken. If I'm surprised, if something looks bullish, then that might be a reason to take it off. But if it's in list 5, it means avoid. It means don't even think about it. Like, what's going on here? Nothing. Anything going on? Everybody was squawking about AMD. Oh, AMD, it's coming back. It's coming back. No, it's not. There's no volume down here. Yeah, it had a couple of up weeks because the whole market did, But look what happened. It then forms a shooter bar or an inverse hammer. That's bearish. I would look for AMD to continue going down at this point. It's just people don't know how to read charts. And even the ones who think they do and tweet about it, yeah, they don't. This is the correct way to read charts. Don't get me upset. Because I see bad chart reading all the time. What do we got here? Amazon, not doing all that much. It tried to resolve this inside bar weak. It did, and then it failed. But it's above that weekly moving average, so yeah, well, maybe that's got to go there. This one, nothing there. Oh, going down. Going down. Nothing. Down. Everybody seemed to love Carvana, but now people are going quiet on it. Carvana might actually be approaching a buy here at the weekly moving average zone, because look at this. The volume. Green, 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 green. There's no reds. There are no big red volume bars. Which means, is this going to go back to zero? Probably not. It means when the Bollinger Band comes up in a week or two, this is going to be a wonderful buy. I'm going to set some alerts on Carvana for this zone. Call it 31 to 33. There's going to be a buy signal in here at some point, maybe in the next week or two. And in fact, I feel so strong about it because, again, there's no red volume bars here. Where are the sellers? They were here, 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 and here. So let's move this out to, let's just take it out to list 6. DoorDash. Oh, that's kind of interesting. DoorDash tried to make its move, but the sellers said, no, thanks. Where's this going? Up or down? I really don't know. But that's a signal, so let's put a reaction bar there, and we'll see what happens to DoorDash. Maybe this zone is the buy zone. I don't know. Let's put a circle. Maybe this zone is where you need to get long DoorDash. I don't know. We'll take DoorDash out and put it in list 6 because that's kind of a positive thing. And here's the other positive thing. A bigger green volume bar than the prior week. Yeah, let's move DoorDash out of list 5 and put it into list 6. This one. D-Dog probably doesn't need to be in list 5. Yeah, let's move it. Oh, DOCN definitely needs to be in list 5. Enough said. Next. ENPH. This is what my hater was all over me on this one. I had a hater on Twitter, and he was going off about what an awful trader I was for choosing ENPH. So right here, you got 2 signals. I shorted it right about here in the 130s. Had a signal here. Put the reaction bar here. It did not trigger. So what does that mean? It means stay short. Then it happened again, except with a hammer bar there. I put it on again. There, it did trigger. I'm out. Now, I don't know what's going to happen to EMPH in the future, but, you closed it out, made like, I don't know, $9 profit. Pretty good. FSLR, I'm short this one. Shorted it up here. It's going down, 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 down. Now, it's formed a signal. It's coded tan, which is a shooter bar. kind of bearish, but that could technically also be an inside bar also. Either way, I'm going to put an alert here, and we'll see if it breaks that. If it does, I'll cover, and I'll make the money from here to here. Oh, I must be an awful trader, huh? Pretty much putting a hard stop here guarantees me a profit. But if price keeps going down, which is what I want, then, you know, that'll speak for itself. Ugh, yuck. Fastly, this should be called slowly. Big white sell signal bar right here. White bar sell signal. I couldn't say it. And now it keeps going down. I wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole. Here, this probably should be a new box. But the overall pattern is kind of gross. So, not doing nothing there. Bearish, IoT. The bulls just love this, but it's just not going to go. I'm sorry. MDB, my favorite stock. I just don't see anything amazing in there. Maybe a new box. Like so. Oof, yeah, Monday. There's that sell. Microsoft, hard to say. Maybe a new box. Like that. Yeah, by the way, during this video, I have not looked at charts to fix all these, so that's why I'm fixing them now. Netflix, look at that. Keeps going down. Box breakdown here. Down, down, down. The trend has changed. Because probably that Hollywood strike is beginning to hit. Don't know, don't care. Down. OPRA. I thought this had potential in here, and nope. Look at all that selling. I bet you this one continues going down like that. But I don't know. I don't know for sure. We just see signals, and then we react to signals. Oracle, no, nothing here. Rivian got its ass kicked last week. A lot of bulls really like this action in here. A lot of Twitter bulls in here. They were loving this. To me, it was just inside a box with no signals. Then it got slapped across the face multiple times, beaten with the ugly stick, and now, you know, not doing anything. Roku starts continue going down, but volume is sort of muted here, so maybe it'll find its footing down in here. No position. Nothing. Nothing. Oof. TMDX. What's down and to the right keeps going down and to the right. God, that's ugly. And list 6. And, oh, I've taken way too much time. Oh, that's a box breakdown right here. Move it to list 5. Avoid for AAOI. List 6 should just have plenty of stocks going sideways in boxes with no signals, just watching. Oh. Avago tried to break out and it failed. I'll keep an eye on that. AXON, that's right on the edge. Hard to say. This is a hard stock to trade though. Gonna leave it there for now. No. Ah. Berkshire Hathaway, good proxy for America. What does it have? Inside week. You know what to do. Set the top and bottom alerts, and then wherever the market takes that, follow the trend. You know about this one. CVNA, opportunity there. Nothing there. DoorDash. Ugh, Ford Motor Company, yuck. Does any company have more problems than this one? I like tracking it, but there's nothing worth buying on it. Oh, Frontline. I forgot all about Frontline. Look at that. Takes off. But this is a hard stock to own, because there are tons of ups and, you know, trends and then counter trends. It's really tough. But that is a box breakout. We'll put this in list 2. That's a textbook box breakout. Not easy to trade though. Some are easy, some are hard. GMB, sideways. Ew. White bar, sell signal. That's a bearish thrust. I had GLBE. I think it's got a positive future. I think the stock it needs a lot more time. Maybe in a year or two, we'll be talking about it again. But I sold it up here. And look at that. Google. It launched back all the way back here in March, and it's been following in the weekly moving average up. Now you can be a box trader and buy and sell it, buy and sell it. But some companies you just believe in fundamentally, and you can use the weekly moving average and not even have to bother with all the box stuff. It's your choice how you approach stuff. And sometimes you got to make a determination. You got to choose. Okay, I'm in this trade. How am I going to manage it? It's a valid question. Meta tried to break out, did not. It'll be a question whether that's a sell right there, but keep an eye on it. This one not doing anything. Steel going down, but still within the box. Nothing to deal with. Nvidia tried to break out. No dice. Volume's low. Rig going sideways. Inside weak. So you know what to do. Put the alerts in the top and the bottom. Rambus. I marked this last week as potential because we got a big volume bar here and potential, but yeah, it went up and then came right back down. In the words of Admiral Akbar of Star Wars, it's a trap. SMCI, that's a trap. It looks so bullish. Well, the holders there are thinking, yeah, well, just wait till it gets to 300. I'm going to sell this like it's going out of style. And they sure did. Look, there's that big red volume. That's called dumping it on retail. It's such a hard game. The Stinger, STNG, sort of like Fro, but this isn't really a box breakout. It's just being dragged upwards, in my opinion. But it's got green volume, green, green, green. I don't see enough there to get involved. Toast is toast. Actually, why am I even bothering looking at this one? I like it, but there's nothing on the chart. I'm going to take it off. Tesla we know about. TTT, nothing. Uber, we know. URI. Okay, that's the video, and let's get to the bonus section. The bonus section is an S&P 500 update. Latest estimate as of October 11th. Okay? Right here is the estimates. This here is the prior estimates. And here are the new ones. And this is what made me sort of fall out of my chair. Everything is up across the board here. In aggregate, 1.86%. But I mean, look at the size of these chunks. We went out just now, a few days ago, we closed out at 48.58. Now they're forecasting for for a year from now, 55. That's like 15%. No, it's 13%. But then look how these numbers just ramp. Like we're supposed to be earning $55 to $61 a share on the S&P when we just closed out a quarter at 48. Where's those profits coming from? I have no idea. So I'm a little shocked at that, but it shows a really nice outlook, double-digit outlook. And if the forward P is an 18 right now, then 13, 14, 15% growth, or an average here of 16.9, 18 is not bad, which means that the S&P 500 probably ain't going down much more. It's probably going to go sideways or back up, which means rally time, which means all these bearish charts might get bullish again. Percentage growth, the higher the percentage growth, the higher the PE can get, which means the higher the price can get. Right here, an 18 PE is considered average. A 20, above 20 is considered strong. So we're sort of between average and strong forecast based on right now, the price today, right now. But again, these numbers are always subject to revision. But until the next revision comes out, I mean, I'm just like, wow, it's amazing. The American economy is amazing. But I just wonder, how sustainable are these? Are we really going to print 51 for this quarter that we just started? I don't know. Are we really then going to increase to 53 and then 55 and then ultimately $61 a share? It's incredible. In other words, 2024 is scheduled for, call it 14 to 15% growth. That's pretty good. If you value the forward PE on the S&P 500 is an 18 with 15% growth, that's a pretty good value. A bad value would be 15% growth, and the S&P 500 is trading at a forward PE of 35, like back in 2000, internet bubble. Forward PE of 40 in the 40s, 32. And this is what happened here on the internet crash. I was a part of that. I was involved in that. Here's 2008. When profits went through the floor, in fact had negative at its low. Oh, let's see here. 2015, after Obamacare kicked in, forward PE was in the 20s because it knew that good times were coming afterwards. So an 18 forward PE, that's pretty good. So back to the chart. Does this look like it's going to break down and keep going down lower, down to, I said maybe by 4,000. But now that, by the end of the year, but now that these numbers have come in, there's no way we're going to 4,000. We're probably going to end at 4,400 more likely. Just shows how things are dynamic, and as the data changes, so does the market change. That's how this game works. The moment you fix something, you stay with it until the data changes. When the data changes, then you have to change also. So that's all I got. So enjoy your weekend. Go 49ers. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks. Bye.